Oh, hey, it's been a while.
It has been
Brian
a
and
while.
Brian we're back and we're live and we're having fun and we're looking forward to a new year. So many things going on, so many things have changed, so many things are still in flux. And you know what we want to focus on is just kind of, hey, take a quick review of the year that's passed. Look at things that are working for you, look at things that are not. And most importantly, everyone seems to be worried and concerned about all the craziness with safe sport and looking for ways that they can better their programs and better their rapport with their athletes and their parents. And well, leave it to Brian. Brian, we came up with something that we know will work and we know will help you. And it's from the right profile. It's the athlete types. We've been talking about it for quite a while, but someone that I studied and did some stuff while I was outside gymnastics, Stephen Covey, who a lot of people still use his planning and stuff, notebooks and whatever. He said that we should seek first to understand, and the athlete type kind of helps you do that because you can understand yourself, you can better understand your athletes, and you can better understand their parents. And sometimes understanding the parents is harder than understanding the athlete. And so if you can all get on the same page and all be rowing in the same direction with where you're trying to go with the sport of gymnastics, then it cuts down on any drama. It cuts down any stress in the gym. It cuts down on anything that could be perceived as someone being angry or stressed out over situations. And what it also does? It puts the athlete at ease. And the athlete being at ease is a big thing, as you know, Brian. Big thing, because if the athlete's not stressed, the coach isn't stressed, you're usually more productive in the gym.
Amen.
And if you can take the parent stress, which sometimes gets added to the athlete and the coach because they're wanting to see something and you just can't communicate that where everyone understands it, then you alleviate that. Now you can all move forward and be productive in the gym. And, I mean, at the end of the day, the coach, the athlete, and the parent, we all kind of want the same thing. We all want whatever that level of success we can get the athlete to. And whether it be national team, the Olympics, whatever, we all want that for the athlete. How we get there is sometimes a tricky, rocky, bumpy road, but this is something, and it's easy, it's simple, it's very affordable. It's not something that they're going to cost you like a normal sports psychologist visit, where it's $350, $400 a pop. This is something that's $99 for the year. It comes with a whole mental gym where the athlete and the coach and the parent can go through these exercises and help each other to better understand and move forward in practice. And Brian, I think that's a great way to start our segment,
Mm-hmm.
and focus on that as we go into a new beginning and a new year.
Yeah.
Is trying to understand our athletes and our parents, and hey, use it with your staff.
Mm-hmm.
Use it with your staff. You can better understand your staff. Maybe you'll get more productivity out of them too. It's a great program and it works.
Well, you want to know
It's been
something cool, Brian? I don't think I told you this. So the Rodney, the chief programmer for the right profile, him and I were talking the other day, and he said, well, part of this is that he's trying to get elite athletes to take it, and he got Jonathan Horton to take it. And
nice.
he said he looked at results and said, "Oh my God!" Like, it was amazing to see this. And now this is like Rodney tests athletes. He goes to NFL Combine every year, tests every single one of those guys. He tests athletes from all sorts of sports. But he said for some reason Jonathan Horton's results were spectacular. Now I haven't seen them, but I'll try to get Rodney to share those with me and get permission to share those with everybody. So I think he has the ability to do that. But he said that his results were spectacular. And it would be I'm very interested in seeing what the elite gymnast profile looks like, because it has to be spectacular, because this is an amazing sport.
Right. And to get to that level mentally and physically and every other way is very tough. So that would be awesome to if Jonathan will allow Rodney to share that stuff and kind of and use it as a a roadmap of, hey, this is
Yeah,
kind of
this
where
is
you want to go, you know?
well, that's the point. It's going to compare you to those top athletes, and now that we have some elite athletes that have taken it, once we get a few more, you'll be able to take it, and then it's going to compare you to Jonathan Horton, and it's going to be like Yul Moldauer and all those big guys, and then you'll be like, okay, this is the areas I need to work on because they're really strong here, and obviously this works for them.
Right,
So,
right. No, it's a great program. We're hoping everyone will the link is in the show notes. Go take it. It doesn't take very long, but it'll give you a great insight to yourself. It'll give you great insight to your athletes, and it'll give you great insights to understanding and better understanding your parents of
mhm.
those athletes. So, you know, there's so many things going on in gymnastics right now. It's I mean, we've got a declaration of bankruptcy. We've got no leadership at the NGB, the national governing body, USA Gymnastics, and so I have to ask. So now what?
Yeah. it, ominous times. Um, you know what they say? The old term was no media is bad media. I'm kind of disagreeing with that right now. We need some positive media. Um, I've talked to so many gym managers and gym owners and coaches, and I don't know a single gym that's told me that business is up right now. I've only heard businesses down on average 10 to 12%. I've heard numbers up 20, 30%. If you watch the equipment forums, gyms are closing and they're selling equipment off left and right. So I think it's time for the new year to close, the new year to come, and it's time for the sport to move on. We have to move on. If we're either going to move on or we're going to become irrelevant soon.
And that's a good point. I mean, there's a lot of right now we have a very fractured community, like
Mhm.
very fractured community, and there's a lot of bridges that need to be built, and there's a few bridges that probably need to be burned, and for good reason. And yeah, the I guess the no press is good press mentality. I'm not sure who gave that thought to someone,
Mhm.
but with all the negative, you're going to have to start putting out something, or else there's no way to come back from it. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's starting to affect business now. Gyms are shut down. It's starting to affect equipment companies because gyms aren't buying equipment because business is down. And it's that way across the whole country. And I'm not seeing a lot of folks doing a lot of things to move anything forward. Um, just not.
Well, and here's my message to the people that are hoping USAG to fail. Okay. If USAG fails and there's no good substitute available up and operating, then the sport is going to be affected for decades. It's going to take decades to get everything back up and running. We need I hate to be this public on this, but we need USAG to succeed because it's already in place, it's already operational, and it's already functional. And we have a new board, and we're looking for a new CEO, but we need USAG to succeed in so many ways. I don't feel like there's any other organization out there that can take its place right now. So,
Well, and now the USOC is under fire,
hmm
not just from the machine, the John Manley machine, but also Congress is interested in looking into some of this stuff,
hmm
and yeah, it's like, where does it end? And you're sitting here as a gym owner, gym manager, someone that's interested in the sport, that's been in the sport for a while, and you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, well, so now what? What did you really accomplish? What is this really
hmm
accomplishing? And then how do we bridge this gap between, which is a significant gap between our veteran survivors and the current athletes, and have them all come together and unite as a community, and move the sport forward,
hmm
all feeling as champions, and not as not as just victims of something that was really bad,
Yeah,
and very
it's
sad.
terrible. Absolutely, it's terrible.
But
You know, Brian, there's a push a few years ago, and the Gymnastics Association of Texas was like on top of it and being very aware of it, making sure that gymnastics was represented. It was in Texas, and they wanted to start regulating gymnastics clubs just like they do daycare facilities.
Yep, yep. I remember because we
Yeah,
had a big. We had someone go and represent us at the state
yeah, we had Beth
capitol.
Gardner go out there and represent us.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and so realistically, that's where this is going. We staved them off and said, gymnastics is fairly self-regulating. We have USAG. There's continuing education. There's all this stuff already in place. The only thing that you guys will be making it is very difficult for gym clubs to actually survive. And especially in a world where 50% of the people are obese and of the children are obese, and it's just not going to be good for everybody as a whole. Now, once Congress steps in and we start getting regulated, all of a sudden you're going to start having people walk in the gym and go, "You have to change this, this, and this, and this." We don't care what the money looks like; you have to find it somewhere. That means the price is going to get driven up, and gym clubs are going to close, and less people are going to be doing the sport, and less people are going to be doing this amazing sport that has all these benefits for children. Um, it's just going to be frustrating. It's going to be difficult to watch, and I see so much benefits to gymnastics, and I just see the government stepping in and all this regulation coming in and just wiping all of this work out. It's going to be like the late 1980s for the sport again.
Well, with all that you're saying there, it sounds like for someone listening that either we have a choice. We could either make the changes and truly make changes, put some new folks in, some new blood, get some new ideas, some new innovative thought moving forward, and make a change, or we can suffer the consequences and let somebody that has no idea, no knowledge of the sport whatsoever, start dictating how we train the sport, how we operate our businesses, how we manage our staff, and that's where we're heading to. And that's scary.
That's very scary.
That's scary. It's a new year. We're coming to the end of this one. It's going to be a new year. You know, what are you looking forward to? What are you doing to make it better? Not worrying about all this stuff going on the outside, which we have to worry about a little bit as business owners. But
Hmm.
what are you doing in your gym to make things better and
Oh
to
yeah.
put in place mechanisms that will protect you and your athletes and your parents from all the outcomes that we're looking at here? And hey, the right profile is a great place to start and put in your
Hmm.
gym. Because if some regulator does come knocking, you can say, "Hey, look, we're doing all these things, buddy," and they'll think you're on top of it. So that's my advice for the new year.
So my so we've sat down. I've sat down in meetings after meetings after meetings talking about, okay, so how do we recover from this? Business is down. We set some very clear business goals. Before session two, our goal is add 100 kids to our program, which people are like, holy cow, that's like a lot. But for us, 100 kids is substantial, but it's a reasonable goal for us, based on our trials and our phone calls and our publicity. Second off, we are being very purposeful with what we're doing with our advertising money. We're dropping uh, individual websites that cater to families and growing families, and we're really going after Google and Facebook targeted advertising because we just feel like that's going to get us so much more bang for our buck. It's not a static ad. It's going to be something that pops up on people's phones when they're on Facebook, Instagram, social media, Google. It's just going to help us 10 times more. So we've dropped a couple of those, and we're just going to dump all that money back into Facebook and into Google, which we should have been doing to begin with. Three, we've actually had to sit down and we had to say, okay, so part of our staffing issue is we don't have a very clearly set, defined career path. So what we did is we've sat down, we've written out a career path, objectives, and goals, and the pay rates to go on there, and we've decided to stop moving people up into a position of, okay, you're going to be a shift manager and pay them this rate flat 24/7. We decided to make shift manager a thing where you can pick up a shift as a shift manager. We can try you out, see if you work before we move you 100% full time into that position. So we've decided to do a lot of very practical steps that would help us grow and maintain not only our clients but to incentivize doing a good job for our staff and our coaches.
And you know, that career path thing is something that I've talked about a lot because
Mhm.
our sport, our industry, the gymnastics industry doesn't have one. And so
Yeah,
that's a big solution that you came up with to try out in your gym. And I'm sure that all of our audience will be interested in how that works moving forward. So we'll check back with you on that.
yeah,
But
we can make a
hey,
video on that. Yeah,
you know, it's been a great show, and we've bantered about a few things. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go check out the Right Profile. Seek to understand your athletes and your parents and your staff and your gym and your business. And we hope you the best. Wish you the best in the new year to come. So Merry Christmas. We'll see
Merry
y'all later.
Christmas, guys. Have fun.